That's his ideal. A little hard to get that far ahead of Luna if she's having a good game. Luna just wants to get to, I mean, pretty much Scotty, right? Like, if you get the Scotty, you get second Roche with Shard. I think then she just becomes a monster in this game with the Shard beams and outranging this kind of like low range nouns lineup. If you look at it, it's very, very close fight heavy. Like they want to get in and they want to stick on you and take the brawl. Very easy for them to get outranged and poked in this game. They're not strong enough to commit. So they want to have like a pretty good acceleration for this hero, get him well ahead in net worth so that when he commits, he can actually take the fight and not just get all in some bad trade.
All right, the 5-man smoke up from nouns. Get themselves onto the dire side of the high ground and just kind of see if they can find an early pickoff, an early first blood. If not, this position should secure 2 bounty runes for them, no problem. And Soniqs, well, they've got an Enigma. They've got, I don't know, like Rubik. You know, these, I feel like these are not heroes that are going to contest first blood or try and go aggressive for bounty runes. So I'm expecting a 2-2 split here unless Nouns wants to make a move aggressively.
No, probably not.
No
I mean,
way.
the other only big question was like if they were going to try and do some lane shenanigans. But it doesn't look like they are. So I guess this Timber pick was just pretty much comfort. Like, I'm just going to take my Timber. It is Moo. One of the best Timbers in the world. Just jam it there. Maybe you like the match for the mid game. I mean, I still don't think Timber is very good versus Enigma in the mid game. So I'm not sure why exactly they wanted it here, but you know, it's Moo Timber. I won't bet against it. He definitely has a good shot to just go ham.
Yeah.
And they got no, they didn't. They only got rune split, but all right. So even runes, no clear advantage. Going to come down to the execution.
This Timbersaw did receive what I think most people have considered a nerf. There is a slight argument for Timbersaw, like when he's maxed out reactive charges, he does get more armor than he used to, but I think everything else, particularly his laning, people will usually agree that this has been a nerf to the hero. So it'll be interesting to see how Moo fares in this lane, particularly against a hero that has traditionally been a pretty decent lane answer, Luna. I mean, you were highlighting it during the draft and how this hero is a mixed damage carry. The early magic damage it does is pretty helpful against Timbersaw.
Yeah, I was always very confident doing, at worst, even with Luna versus Timber, and at best, you can really hammer him down with a good support. It is Marcy for Fada, which I don't think you have the greatest like all-in threat, and you can't ship him early. So honestly, I think Moo's going to have a pretty fine time up here. He is not getting much regen burn. Traditionally, if you win this lane, it's through the early levels, abusing Beam and Aura, especially the level 2 timing, but they're getting shoved in, and level 2 went to Nouns first. Yeah, not a lot of pressure going to go their way.
Getting disposed straight back into double whirling death. I could see how this Marcy isn't going to function too well. He does have level 2 and has the rebound now, but nowhere to jump to. But Moo wasn't able to get close enough. They're able to chase him away for this entry and keep him from being able to block that. So the hard camp is open. Just one more advantage that this off lane of Nouns will have. Our mid matchup, we've seen this matchup a couple times. We're talking about it. Batrider versus Tusk. Despite it being Batrider versus a melee hero, Tusk actually does surprisingly well. He's able to just kind of ice shard shove in the wave. He can hold a snowball and use it when the stacks get a little bit too high and just rest inside the snowball, and the stacks will usually fall away by the time he comes back out. So it seems to be a better answer than we initially expected.
Yeah, I think this lane just goes fine for him.
Yeah.
The big question with this mid Tusk is just, what do you buy and what do you do with it? Like, what is your role in the game? That is the big question for me. Because, sure, you can do final lane, but Batrider always has a pretty clear path to impact. Like, he can solo kill heroes with just scaling builds through Witchblade. He can be your initiator with bots playing BKB. He's always annoying in the late game because he has displacement. Tusk can do some of those things, but it's harder for him to get to those items because he doesn't control the map as well. So I really want to see Gunnar like transition this properly. Maybe try and contest runes if he can do it.
Nice toss back, Z-Freak. A lot of stick charges, but he will be the first blood that's picked up for Yawar. Yawar does get pretty low, but he's still able to play the lane. Moo is also decently low.
Who got the first blood there? Yawar got it. So Soniqs very happy with that one. A lot of extra net worth going his way. He wasn't doing amazing, so that'll help out a lot. Unfortunately, you know, it's on this Venge and not the Timber, which means Timber does get a lot of solo XP, gets to level 3, has maxed axe, raindrop up now. He's pretty invincible. Once again, he's going to free farm this lane. And first pick Timber with free farm was pretty nice.
What about our bottom lane here? Soniqs is off lane. They've got the Enigma for Leslau, who's just pulling back the lane. Costabile, he's 26-5, so it does look like he has maybe farmed a few Eidolons. And we talked about this matchup, how it just gets better and better for Gyrocopter as he gets higher levels and more shots from the flat cannon. So it seems like level 5 is really where you're just like pummeling the Eidolons every single time they get resummoned. So expect Costabile to be... if not top of the net worth charts most of the time for this laning phase, damn near close to it.
Yeah, he's having a great start. Like, he is destroying this lane. The CS is one thing, but he's up almost 1,000 in net worth, which is very significant for the first 5 minutes for Enigma. Leslau, he's like not even really laning. He's just getting some jungle trolls worth pretty much nothing compared to the lane CS. This Gyro gets stacks on top of the start. This is exactly what you want to have happen here. Like, he's going to be a massive problem in the mid game.
So it sounds like to me everything's kind of going very well for Nouns. I mean, they're happy with the top lane despite the first blood, whatever. Moo's getting what he wants out of the lane, especially as you said, first pick Timbersaw. Gunner's doing perfectly fine in mid lane. He's 200 net worth behind a Bat Rider, who cares? And Gyrocopter's free farming plus, not just getting all the creeps, but getting some Eidolons too. So this is something that Soniqs have to recover from. Gunner snowballs, as you can see, comes back out. Sticky napalm stacks fade away, and Quinn not able to do anything there. They did at least, it forced out a TP from Husky, which he did cancel.
I mean, that was lasso use, so very nice to get that on cooldown for a 6-minute rune fight. Now they're going to contest it. And it spawns. He gets it haste.
Gets it just in time. Good timing there on the snowball. Fauna's going to be able to jump away, so that haste rune won't be put to immediate use, or maybe it will. They're actually going to turn back around with the Omni Knight here, see if they can blow up Quinn. Fauna tosses him just a small distance up to the high ground, and it seems like that's enough. A 3-on-3 Nouns will disengage, opting not to keep that going. And we actually had this same kind of setup with so many similar heroes. Nouns, they can rotate heavily into mid lane because they're very happy with the side lane 1v1s, right?
I mean, how they're going for sure. Like, Timber, hero that wants a ton of solo XP. Same with Gyro. This Gyro's already level 6 versus an Enigma. He is super happy with how this lane went. And these Soniqs cores, they're also happy with the solo XP, but they're also heroes that I feel would ideally want to be pressuring in the dual lane setup, right? Like, they don't kind of want to just be farming in a one-on-one versus Gyro Timber. So definitely favors Nouns for the time being. And Z-Freak already stacking up that triangle. So again, game plan for Gyro fully on board. He's going to have a tremendous game here. There's no like big Bat Rider turnaround kill or something in the near future. Quinn's doing his best to pressure the map, forcing 2 heroes out of mid. Pretty nice.
And he actually gets a really nice ward down. Hopefully, for his sake anyway, that wasn't spotted by Nouns. Meanwhile, Yawar was just pulling back the waves, but Timbersaw really is asserting control over this lane. It usually happens when you get level 6, you're usually able to kick the enemy carry out of lane thanks to Chakram, and Moo's just about to hit that point.
Yep, this is the big Timber timing. See who Nouns chooses to play with the next minutes here. Looks like they're smoking bottom. Potentially fighting around Gyro.
Bana is going to get rolled on by Gunner, but is able to get the jump away. The magic missile follows him, but Gunner has already used the snowball to close the distance, and Ice Shards could block them up nicely. It's both. He's going to finish up Fauna with the Walrus Punch, and now they're going to chase after Mojo as this Rubik, surrounded by 3 heroes, going to chase down all the way underneath the tier 2. Double kill for Gunner.
Very nice. And they still have this pressure bottom with Gyro. 4-on-1 now.
Yeah, look at him. He's immediately going to route the Enigma, kill off the Eidolons, and Quinn, he's going to have to come in here to try and help out, but there's going to be too much damage. The Enigma's already dead, and the Batrider left alone in this situation. He needs some more backup. Mojo's going to TP in, see if he can grab Costabile and allow them to be able to run down at least this carry. It would be a big pickup, and they barely get it. The last shot from the double damage Batrider gets it just before he's able to slip away. Z-Freak is also going to be collected here. Tried to go for an Ancient Deny, but Quinn with the double damage just does too much, it seems.
A very nice rune, and that's the turnaround they want. Like, this bat killing the gyro is super important to slow him down, because he was getting a lot out of that. A lot of XP for this Batrider as well, and now straight into this triangle cleanup. Maybe Luna wanted it, but Luna is not going to get it.
No. Not when it's been spotted by a Gyrocopter lineup. You can't afford to... I mean, if things went really poorly in that whole situation, if like Nouns really cleaned up that team fight, maybe they take the stack away from Quincy Crew. They can't afford to risk that.
Definitely not. And this is going to be a huge injection for this Batrider. Pushes him to the bots, level 9.5 off this. Ooh, he is very far ahead in the experience. And that's nice for this hero. The more levels he gets early, the more his damage comes online. He abuses it faster, turns into more kills, even more experience. Snowball effect. So Quinn has a decent window to really take this game over. And he kind of has to, I think, because Luna's just going to be farming for a long time, and this Enigma had a rough start. He's not going to be the big playmaker.
Look at this. This is a super interesting play by Quinn. He solo smoked, TP to top, ran through the creeps, because he had this ward on the Gyrocopter. So he really wants to get the solo kill on Costabile. And he just might be able to do it if he chases up into this high ground and catches this Gyro while he's mid-farming Ancients. It's going to be a close call, though. The sports are nearby. He's going to be able to grab him, pull it back in, see if he can get him up on the high ground. Doesn't quite get him up there. And now Costabile is going to be able to live, and it's going to be the Batrider in trouble. Chased by the Snowball. Not going to be able to connect in time, so... Quinn, well, Firefly's down. Gunner might be able to block him in with the Ice Shards. Not quite good enough for a full block.
Yeah,
another Snowball coming up. Moo's going ham in the bottom lane, looks like. He's already picked up 2 kills. Quinn still being chased down by Gunner. Firefly still not up. This Arcane Rune is doing work for Gunner right now. When it comes to chasing the Batrider, it still has not been enough, though. He chased him all the way back to the tier 2, but maybe in part because of the levels or just the straight-up movement speed, the Batrider survives.
During that whole period, though, Moose basically solo kills Enigma and Rubik in a 1-on-3.
Jeez.
Absolute demolishing this bottom lane for Soniqs. Takes the tower on top of it. Whew, he absolutely destroyed them. Probably didn't see all of it on camera, but he got so much gold out of that sequence. I mean, look at his network now.
Yeah, he's crazy big.
Crap.
And you know what, like some of that just comes down to simple decision making, right? The Batrider is the answer to the Timbersaw. Quinn tried to make this super aggressive play to solo kill the Gyrocopter, but if he had just come bottom and tried to shut down the Timbersaw, maybe that would have been the better idea.
I mean, that gyro kill is the biggest to get. You can't blame him for that play, but even if he just makes that with +1, it's secured for sure. Instead, it backfires. Very good few minutes for Nouns. They will get the Timber cleanup. Again, Quinn is the big linchpin here for this Soniqs lineup for a long time. He is the high threat, the only playmaker. He has to make everything happen. So like you said, if he chooses wrong once, it punishes them super hard. Nouns, they have a pretty good start.
Yeah, and they're forcing reactions. They hit mid-tower, force the Batrider to show up there. Okay, split. Get out of there. Yeah, I assume, you know, like as a group, they could probably fight the Batrider, but I assume most of the time they just kind of want to dodge this guy. If you're saying, like, he's such a big threat, better to just force him around the map without engaging, right?
Or bring the numbers. Like, you don't want to engage him unless you're the one killing him. You just don't want it the other way around, and it's hard to kill him. They have some defensive tools in Swap and Heavenly Grace, but they don't have the best ways to lock this bat down and actually destroy him, right? That's the downside of this lineup. The stuns are pretty limited. It's only this magic missile.
Oh, no, Moo. He made such a big play, but if he gets caught again, it's close. The lasso gets there in time.
Trying to save him.
Flame break, bump back. The TPs are going to come in, but they're too late. Husky, he's now going to die as the +1 to that gank. Very unfortunate for Nouns. They are going to be able to take mid-tower for this, maybe, or maybe not. Look at these massive rotations coming in. all the TPs. Fada doesn't have a rebound to play off of, though, so they won't be able to catch nouns, but that is a big stumble in momentum for them.
I mean, this is what I was saying, that this Timber can have a great start, and he did. Like, Moo played this early game fantastic. But what is this Timber doing in the mid game? These matchups are rough. The Enigma with Midnight Pulse Malefice, this Bat Rider just destroys you until you have a Lotus. Not the easiest game for Moo to play. He is rushing Lotus Sword, but he's very far away.
Yeah, and
he has to be careful.
I don't think he can really play with his team too much, because who plays solo on their lineup? Like, who pushes out the hard lanes to push in, you know? I feel
That's
like
the difficulty.
Tusk has to run around with Benj. Omni Knight naturally wants to go with, you know, Gyrocopter or go the aggressive move with the Tusk, so.
That is going to be the big question. I mean, they're going to get all the tier 1s down. They have a lot of room to play with. Can they use it? I mean, you just have to play with the right saves behind the right people to allow it. And Gyro kind of wants to do this triangle farm pattern. He can kill top and do triangle. Like you said, who's pushing bottom, who's pushing mid, and soaking this up without being threatened. I don't think Moo feels confident to do it anymore. Gotta make sure you have the supports in the right place, for sure.
It does feel like Gunner is struggled to be able to connect with these rotations. They haven't been able to get a really big pick off in a while, as Soniqs, Leslau backs away just at the right time, right when the smoke gank was coming his way.
I mean, he did opt for this more farm scale Tusk build, Falcon Blade into BKB, probably a Blink Ags or something after that. You could also go the Deso route. Downside is their playmaking drops off a cliff. Like, they have no way to start any type of skirmish engagement, even pick off, outside of run up and swap a dude, which is, you know, good luck.
You know, or snowball in, which that sounds pretty dangerous too.
Yeah, so even though they had this very good start, their lineup can't really capitalize it, and that means Soniqs gets to farm their way back in this game, and they have very good heroes to do it. Bat's cleaning up. He's like far out lanes and waves. Yalwar gets to do all of the jungle. He's almost ahead of Gyro at this point. I mean, even Mojo's got some decent farm. Almost has Blink.
They're in a nice position. They've smoked up behind Moo, so if they can get to him in time, can they bail him out? The swap back and bails him out. They're going to be able to turn. They kill Fada. I felt like that was a great position for Nouns. Thought they would be able to get more out of it, but it turns out just the fine position. Still, though, a very important save on Moo. Close call there.
Yep, they'll bait out the Eclipse, get the Bat to TP. I mean, honestly, that's where Soniqs need to be careful in this game. I think you'd rather play the map than just play into this 5-man. Like, the Nouns lineup can only do one thing right now, and it's 5-man team fight you. Off the back of the Lotus Timber, which he now has, and this Gyrocopter AoE. Outside of that, they cannot play the side lanes. The second they split up, the Bat's going to find somebody.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Soniqs should be playing towards here. They also went this early blink on Rubik, so his pickoff is a lot better. He can abuse the stolen spells, which he has very good spells to steal this game. Like, if Rubik combines with Bat Rider, the threat is guaranteed on the map. Gunner bottom.
Pull back Gunner into the Ray-packed black hole of the Enigma. Now there is going to be some small saves from Husky. Is it going to be enough? He gets the heal, he gets the snowball over the creep wave. Now Moo pouncing on top of Leslau. Should be a quick kill there. Can they get more? Quinn out of Firefly, so a good shards or a snowball might be able to ensure that kill. Another swap back from Z-Freak. And a run in from Fada trying to give the movement speed. They do have some damage coming out though. Mojo was able to finish off one. All of Nouns are a little bit low, but they don't have a core that's matched up against them, so they're just going to try and run down all these supports. Fada struggling to get away, but he does have another rebound, hops into the trees, while the Rubik seems to have slipped away. Thanks to that Blink Dagger, Fada does get caught in the trees, and so they do pick up 3 ultimately for Nouns. And, I mean, you said it, their team fight is very dangerous. Quincy Crew, Soniqs, they really got to be careful picking and choosing the battles they want to engage into.
Man, that's just like the tankiest target to go on right into a tier 2. You know the teleports are going to come out. I mean, they were close to bursting him, but at the same time, Quinn is so close to BKB. You almost just want to let him farm it. Like, are you in such a rush for this kill? You don't have any support with you either. You just need the little extra damage, and that play goes better. Can't help but think it was a small misstep, and they're gonna get punished for it. Big flax coming down.
Yeah, this is where it gets dangerous now. And if they're
Fada.
allowed to get the right kind of fights, they're going to snowball this very quickly. Another missed timber chain from Moo. Maybe a little bit rusty on the timber saw, but still able to get the bigger, more important kill in the Enigma. They're around the Roshan pit too. They've got a great lineup to take it. Soniqs,
Yeah, why not?
I don't think they can contest this at all.
No lasso, no black hole. Yeah, there's no way you're contesting this, and this is the strength. I mean, we've seen from nouns the whole tournament, right? Just ball up, force the objectives. Sure, you get some net worth in the early game, but it pays back later. Game plan's going pretty well for him. On their way to the plus BKB. Gyro already has his, opted for the stronger fighting build over the stronger farming build. We'll go for the Ags next, though. Yeah, honk honk coming through.
Yeah, Nouns feeling very good. The game was kind of stalling out for them 5 minutes ago, but the last 5 been very good for them. They've gotten a number of important kills. Now they're translating that into some objectives. They've got the Roshan with the Aegis should allow them to take some tier 2s. Then tier 2 gets some outposts. It's like a huge amount of map control they're going to be able to get in just 1 or 2 big plays.
And the biggest component of that is Aegis lets Gyro more aggressively shove these waves. I mean, you can't do it too aggressively because there's still the threat of you getting lasso dragged into a bad fight. But it allows them to split the map a little more and try and be able to lead.
He is super alone, and
Yeah, he
Soniqs
really is.
had a ward on the other side of the map that saw almost everybody from Nouns. So Soniqs is like, well, he may have Aegis, but he's got no backup. Fortunately, Costa was able to farm his way backwards through the jungle quick enough that he doesn't get caught by this smoke move from Soniqs, so it ends up just being a wasted resource. Now back to playing mid.
Yeah, I mean, Nouns is clumping very hard in this game. They're not giving an opening. It's only Gyro, and again, the Aegis lets him do this now. You're just going to have to take the fight at some point. Do you have BKB on Battle Rider? You have BKB on Luna.
Yep. Don't have BKB on Leslau, though. Not that I think it would be a huge difference, just because there is still the swap problem, but...
At least he's got Philosopher's Stone, you know?
Yeah,
When in
true.
doubt, GPM it out.
Yeah, that's a good motto.
You can have that one. I won't even copyright it for
You
you.
won't copyright. Yeah, it's not strong enough for you. They looks like Soniqs are going to be doing well enough in the split pushing that they'll be able to trade out some tier 2s here. Looks like bottom's low enough that they might be able to commit that.
Fada will hit it with some sidekick here. I mean, decent trade for him. Like, enemy has Aegis, they're clumping, you're just getting more off the map. I mean, this is Soniqs building a net worth lead when the enemy, in theory, has advantage. So they should be very happy with this. Just a matter of getting to the next set of damage items for post-Aegis teamfight, which is going to be Witchblade for Quinn. Still very strong, and of course, this Luna getting up there in the levels. Matching Gyro, actually outpacing him here. Level 16. He hits hard. This level 2 Eclipse with max beam. Extra beam cooldown from the talent. A lot of spell damage coming out.
And if they get... that second Roshan is going to be so key, right? Because if you about that time, you're going to have Scotty on Luna. And if you get the shard for the Luna, then you're going to feel real good about your team fight contribution, especially against an opposing ranged hero.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that is like the Luna timing. The Scotty with the free shard. That's the dream for him.
So now it's really got to be careful. They've got a nice advantage right now. They need to continue to lock that down, build up a bigger net worth lead by taking some of these objectives and maybe taking a good fight. And hopefully that will secure them second Roshan, because there is the big, scary turnaround looming in the future with this Luna growing bigger and bigger.
I mean, they're just having issues playing the map. It's just not the strength of their heroes. The Bat's giving them the run around. The Luna's pushing waves super fast, hard to catch. They have no real catch anyway because Gunnar went for this BKB, not blink. Like, they can't build any net worth lead right now, and it's showing. I mean, they're down gold. all they can really do is clump and force the objectives. It's just so slow. Like, we see Costability just forcing his tower, but it's not the best objective taker, and Quinn's even cutting mid-wave.
Yeah,
And this feels really bad.
If you could just cut mid-wave right in front of the tower like that, right in front of a tier 1 mid, that says
Gunner's
something
fed
about
up with this.
the catch problems here. And I do kind of wonder, you know, if itemization could have fixed this, whether it was the Blink Dagger on Gunner sooner or maybe a Yule Scepter instead of a Lotus Orb on Mu. I don't know what the right decision is, but it does feel like they need just one item to catch a little bit better.
Even if they have that, I'm just thinking, like, how does the damage line up? At this point, it's just awkward, like, because your supports just aren't offering much in terms of catch and kill threat. They're mainly sustained ball supports with saves, so it comes down to the cores. They finally catch something. A wild mojo.
Pretty decent kill. Is that enough for them to be able to run down and take this mid tower?
Kill was actually worth a lot, huh? Oh, he had a streak.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 550 for the gyro. Not bad.
All right, mid tower. All the Soniqs are here, posing a sort of defense, but it's only a pose. They don't actually engage.
Why are they all here? I guess they want to fight.
They're trying to
fight, though?
I mean, Nouns is ready to turn. They want this fight. They want this engagement. Mojo's going to TP onto the outpost. They see this coming. He's going to blink backwards. Oh, this is a scary engagement, but they do have the high ground vision. Jump in, a nice hit.
Good snowball.
Two-man stun, but at the same time, the Bat Rider gets low. He gets off the BKB, what a black hole! A three-man black hole, a swap goes out, but Leslau still kept it going, and they're gonna be able to run down all of Nouns. Soniqs, you had the question of whether or not this was the wisest engagement for them. They could have just kept splitting the map, kept playing for that net worth, play for the second Roshan, but they chose to take the more aggressive route, and boy, did it pay off.
I mean, when you land a black hole like that,
yeah,
take any fight for sure. I thought that fight was not going to go that well, but the way they push them out of that, they get the high ground ward, they push them into this like ramp cliff area. The positioning gets very awkward for Nouns very fast here, as we're going to see. Gunner tries to just initiate and force the fight, but the turnaround is just awkward. The gyro gets stunned. He commits in with the flak, but only gets like 2 off, and then just a beautiful black hole. No swap with the range to counteract it. That just seals their fate, man.
Man, that Aether Lens was such a great choice for Leslau. As you said, kind of put him out of range with the Venge on the other side of the black hole and the Aether Lens that increased cast range. Just made too big of a divide for Z-Freak to answer that big team fight spell quickly.
I think we also really felt the lack of damage from this Nouns lineup. Like, outside of Gunner pushing and poking one guy, they don't have the big gyro damage yet. Like, he's only level 15. He gets the 40 damage at level 20, and he really needs the next item plus some more levels here. Not to mention, again, 0 Vengeance Aura points for Z-Freak.
Yeah, he's doing it again. Last time we theorized that it was because of the Terror Blade, and he didn't want to give up that aura to the enemy, but nobody's copying him this time.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Why would he do that?
I mean, I think the value point is always solid. It's not necessarily better than the extra damage, but still, like, I mean, I'm sure he'll pick it up next year. He does have Vlads, so that plus the Vlads is going to eventually lead to some nice damage increase for this Gyro, who's going to need it in this game.
Yeah. That's funny. Z-Freak even has the Eye of Vizier, so he is really trying to get as much cast range for his nether swap. Having a level 2 would be a big saving grace.
Oh yeah, it's huge. And this is another Soniqs 5-man smoke. They want to fight. No more Aegis. No black hole either, though, for 20. They do have Scotty on Luna, so this is Yawar's like the strongest timing in a long time. It's very powerful. Costa's just hitting mid. This is very bold.
I guess he knows Soniqs is outside of their base. They're trying to force us to walk into them in the high ground. Are they going to oblige? It looks like they're going to walk up there. Costa leading the way. Gunner spotting the Enigma. They really want this kill. It's so important. The telekinesis helps, but Leslau's still going to be caught. He's killed. They're going to go on the Gyrocopter in the back lines, though. He gets off the BKB. He can start turning around with Leslau coming out with a buyback. He's going to be able to... No, they couldn't pull him in. A beautiful swap from Z-Freak. That was a dead Gyrocopter otherwise. Costa...
He's out.
Oh, he's out. He gets away. Mojo pursuing still. With the Timber Chain stolen, he can keep up with Moo. But can they actually kill him?
Moo keeping up with him a little bit.
Yeah, bounce back, Lotusaur, but with the Luna finally here, the Scotty will start going to work, and Timber's size quickly eviscerated.
That's a very good retreat from Nouns there. They get the Enigma buyback. Super huge. It's going to kill his item progression in this game. And Soniqs praying for the Roche. Not going to get it.
They want that Roshan so badly because, as you said, it was a good retreat from Nouns. They got a buyback out of Leslau and didn't lose their Gyrocopter for it. Like, that is fantastic. But if Soniqs were to get the Roshan in exchange, then I would feel like that would be kind of even, or maybe even to the favor of Soniqs. They do see it spawn now, so they did keep an eye on the pit. They realized it's a late Roshan spawn. It's got to be coming soon. So it does look like they're going to be able to get this prize.
Yep, trade Enigma's net worth for your other course here. This is the big Shard Roche, so Luna Power Spike completely online here. Scotty, Shard, Aegis, almost level 20. Definitely worth the Enigma buyback. Now it's time to put it to use.
They go for the initiation on a Quinn. Gunner leading the charge there. Nice little magic missile. They're going to finish up Fauna. There goes him. Leslau still sitting on the side. He's got the black hole ready to go. So Nouns really have to be careful with their spacing. Despite the pickoff, they have to beware. There could be that turnaround coming around. And that's why they don't get too overly aggressive. They don't group up too much. They don't just mindlessly chase after Soniqs despite the nice opening they had there. Playing it safe. Playing it careful.
No lasso, no eclipse also helps persuade him of that. I don't think you want to fight without these big ults. You need all of them to be able to punch through the tankiness here. Sure, this Nouns lineup isn't killing you super fast outside the single target burst from Tusk. At the same time, it's a lot of EHP to punch through. You have all these Omni-Knight shields and heals. He has Aether Lens as well. There's potential snowball save. Timber went for this Eternal Shroud Lotus build. It's just pure tankiness from him. If you don't land big ults when the BKBs are down, your damage gets limited to an extent as well. Choose your fights carefully.
About the power spike of the Luna with the Shard and everything. It's huge. Costa does hit his own power spike here. He's now got the Satanic. So now we do have the potential for the sustain through the black hole or through a lasso. We'll see if that actually fully comes to fruition. Just require him hitting Satanic and probably BKB before getting caught by those disables.
Yeah, he really wants the level 20 here and one more item. Then he's going to be super strong. Gem on Quinn running in. Too late though. Nobody home.
Yeah, not able to catch anybody. Soniqs continuing to use their nice split push. We had Quinn pushing out the bottom lane earlier, so there's some heavy pressure coming in. That tier 3 is going to take a lot of damage.
I mean, you can force the high ground here with Sidekick Luna. You have to think about the swap threat, but if the swap threat's used aggressively, then you're freeing up the Enigma team fight. Could be a route they take. Still, they're just happy to force them all back.
Yeah, it's dangerous going high ground against Avenge, right?
Yeah, it really is. And there's also just not a need. Like, I think they're very comfortable right now. At least just controlling the map, getting some more power runes. They have the gem dewarding everything. I don't know if you want to get too comfortable, though. Like, if you don't take some racks or get a very confident position out of this Aegis, you are letting Gyro get to that late game territory. You're letting Tusk start to power up. Gunner's quietly been farming, and he did get that blink. He got an enchanted quiver for his punch, and he almost has Deso. Like, this Tuskar hero in the late game is an absolute beast. Especially depending on third Roche.
Oh, you mean for, like, the Aghanim Scepter, the free Ags?
Because the Ag's Tusk in this game is super good. Like, we're talking about the Nouns lineup having issues catching people, stunning them, forcing the fight. Well, he blinks in, kicks someone into this lineup. I mean, that's, like, amazing for you, right? This Soniqs lineup does not want to have one of their cores just broken into the middle of this ball. So,
Well, imagine a Bat Rider trying to get a lasso on somebody, grab somebody, but then gets kicked into the enemy team. You know,
that's true.
And
True.
that's the trump card right there.
You just drag them with you, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Who's pulling who? Quinn on the hunt here. Keeping these creep waves constantly. They're always being cut. He's always keeping mid from going in too deep. He's always keeping pressure on the bottom lane. Does make things very awkward for nouns.
Went Hurricane Pike. Pretty interesting here.
Yeah, with the Witchblade, part of his right-click build.
Maybe just trying to deal with the shards. Like extra mobility.
They're charging in. They've got 40 seconds left on this Aegis. UR wants to put it to use. But is that extra life worth the geographical disadvantage that they're putting themselves in? I mean, just stumbling up into a potential high ground fight.
No, there's no way.
Yawar was, thinking he was really trying to force some sort of initiation.
20
seconds left. He's gonna go for it now, but Nouns, they can bide their time a little bit and maybe
Quinn on
catch
the
him
back.
as the Aegis expires.
Looking
He's
for
gonna be
Venge.
able to grab the back line, tries to go for Z-Freak and the Omni Knight as quick as possible. Now Yawar gets in there. He's got 7 seconds left on this
BKB's
Aegis.
though.
Ooh, they need to be able to either pull him out or get him in. One or the other.
2 seconds.
Here comes the stun. The Aegis is gonna expire. He pops the BKB. The regen doesn't actually go through, but they are able to get back to the safety of their high ground through and through. A win, I would say, overall for Nouns, playing that fight correctly, though it could have been much worse for Soniqs.
I mean, no big ults out of the Eclipse used. That could have been really bad, though. I mean, Quinn had the right idea. If you find the Venge and take him out, you free up the Enigma fight. The problem is this is double save lineup, so Husky just holds his Heavenly Grace until the last minute needed, stalls that out, saves Venge, and then suddenly Soniqs don't want to commit to this anymore. It's an interesting problem here, right? Like, you can't lasso the Venge, you can't lasso the Omni Knight, you can't free up the fight for your Enigma, and your War is just not strong enough to punch through the front line on his own. Not sure how they solve it right now. It's very awkward.
You know what one potential solve is? An Aghanim Scepter.
That's true.
If those supports are going to be hanging out together, that is hugely risky. I mean, the chance of you being able to grab both of them is, I would say, pretty low, but you never know. He's going to jump forward again, but met by Walrus Punch, hit by the magic missile. No BKB going out. He drops the gem, drops to the deck, and his Soniqs on full retreat now, but Gunner chasing after him. Moo is too, but they have to be careful. They just can't blindly rush. Even when they have an advantage, they can't blindly rush in because of the threat of the black hole.
I mean, they don't even have to, I feel. Like, they are just out farming Soniqs here, and I feel like they're outscaling them. Like, they have the saves for the black hole late game. Gyro's getting into crazy strong territory. You have the Vengeance Aura levels now. You have the Wraith Pack coming out. You just got a gem off that as well. Like, you are getting the net worth here. This Tusk in the late game is gonna be a problem with the kick. I can't help but feel like the clock is ticking for Soniqs here. You're gonna need some black holes. You're gonna need big ones, and you're gonna need them soon.
At the same time, how does Nouns break that high ground? And if we're talking a late game, we start going super late game, then the Enigma starts getting, he's getting BKB. Looks like he wants to go back for an Octane. Really surprised that the Lincolns isn't an option here for Leslau.
It's definitely worth considering. Maybe it's just too much net worth. I don't know how Fada ended up here.
He was pushing bottom lane, and then, things happen. What can you do?
I guess they got a tier 3. That's something.
Yeah, they did.
I mean,
and he's a very low level, compared to everybody else. So he will be back up by the time that Nouns gets to its base.
All this time, though, that Bat Death means Gyro got his level 20 talent. He has full Scotty. He has Titan Sliver on top of it. 3,500 HP now with the damage to back it up. He might not die in the hole anymore. All right, if he gets BKB off, if he gets Omni Knight ulted and Grace, I'm not sure this Black Hole actually kills him, even with full Eclipse and Luna hitting him. It's gonna be close.
Yeah,
you do have this Nullifier on your War, so you're eliminating some of the save potential, which is maybe gonna allow you to all in for sure. But it's still gonna be tough. This is where this hero becomes obnoxious. He's up
Got
pretty
the
far.
ward on the high ground. They're underneath this vision. Soniqs, they got to realize this and either take the ward or get out quick. Oh, grabbing the Gyrocopter, pulling him back. Whoa! Costa.
Is he living? No.
He gets 100 to 0. Definitely underestimating what Soniqs could do there. And now it's just cleanup time. I mean, that was a disaster. None of his supports were close.
Yeah, I mean, no swap, no grace. Otherwise, that fight goes terribly for Soniqs. Taking advantage of the high ground ward. I think Quinn saw him there, and he's like, is this guy actually alone? And just takes the gamble. I mean, there's a world where nouns are smoked there, right? And Costa's like basically saying, do you believe I'm actually alone? Well, Quinn did, and he took it. And
called his
that's
bluff.
Roshan. Like, that's the worst time to die. And just a bad way to do it, man.
And we were really setting up, you know, like if nouns get this third Roshan, will Soniqs have the answers? But now I feel like an answer to the swap has just been gifted to Soniqs in the fact that they're going to be able to get a refresher shard.
Yeah, double black hole, double lasso. What is taking this one? It's like
Oh, that's
Quinn will
interesting.
gobble it. Oh, they're giving it to Leslau.
Okay, yeah, that for me makes more sense. I mean, the swap's going to go down, and it's not like you're probably going to be in a perfectly fine position when you get swapped as the Enigma. You just refresh and do it up again.
I agree. Double hole's very strong here. As long as he doesn't get initiated on, that's the big concern, though. If he gets initiated on, he is just dead. Like, even if he gets whack hole off, there's so much physical coming out from this Tusk jump, from the flax that are going to come through.
And nouns know this. They spotted the Enigma for a second. They tried to make the fast smoke move, but Leslau did not stick around for long. He values his own life too much.
Quinn.
Batrider, Quinn, looking again.
Doesn't think he's alone.
Yeah, he doesn't pounce this time. He's like, there's no way this guy's going to make that mistake twice. Does get nullified. You are really trying to force the issue. Again, off of the Aegis. Wants nouns to engage onto him, which would set up Leslau for pretty easy black holes.
Yeah, he's trying to bait the supports to show.
Yeah.
It's pretty much everything for Soniqs here. If they see Tusk, if Tusk jumps somebody that's not Enigma, they're probably pretty happy with this. And if they see the supports, Quinn will pounce. Again, just poking, maneuvering for position here. Soniqs still with the advantage with this Aegis Cheese Refresher. But you are closing into this Tuskar Ags, and I still think this Tuskar Ags is just like game breaking. It makes the fight so simple. You just blink kick someone to your ball. It's not really counterplay. Casual boxing mid.
I mean, he's got a haste rune. I understand his aggression there. That's an interesting steal. He actually got
Well, Yawar's on the high ground.
He is. Punch goes out at the same time as Hurricane Pike. Gets the stun on the move. Fada not going to be caught by that shards. Otherwise, probably would have been dead meat there.
Yawar wants to fight.
Yeah, Soniqs are going to keep this going. They see an opening here. They're going to go see if they can force a reaction. There it is. The swap goes out from Z-Freak. An opportunity now, especially with a stolen swap from MSS, to keep going. They're going to kill the Venge once and twice.
Decent window here.
Time to really force things. Time to attack that high ground.
Yeah, you also have stolen swap, stolen punch on Mojo, who has Ags.
Yep.
This is pretty deadly here. Yeah, I can see an aggressive swap on a core if they give it to him. You can insta-punch him, insta-lift him out of it as well. He's just going to get chain stunned into a black hole. Nouns really need to be careful with this push. Double damage in the river, but they don't know. High ground siege with sidekick. Just, if you let the tower fall, then you get the glaive bounce as well.
Yeah, I always kind of feel like when it comes to defending against Luna pushing high ground, it's either you defend on your tier 3, you don't defend at all. Once those glaives start bouncing, it's way too dangerous. They gave the bottle over to Yawar and did find the double damage, so they have a pretty huge advantage for the next 2 minutes. Something that nouns may or may not know, but I don't know if they're really itching for a fight anyway with the Aegis still up. They're moving through the Radiant jungle, trying to find some farm, but Soniqs is looking, Soniqs is hunting Quinn. See if he can catch up to anybody. Lotus Orb on Z-Freak, trying to protect this support.
You can wait for it to wear
Mars gonna
out.
be able to slow him down a little bit more. They've got the pullback of the telekinesis with Walrus Punch. He does get the swap off, saving his own life, but now there
Solo
goes the
hole.
black hole onto the Gyrocopter. They need Seafreak to die. They need him to get the swap now. He gets off now.
Got
Close to dealing with
Satanic.
the Satanic, but the
Round
second
two.
round of the black hole, and it's even bigger than the first. That is going to be 3 cores inside. Killed, as now Seafreak is going to lose his ghost as well. A buyback immediately out from Gunner, but nobody else has a buyback. Nobody else can join in this defense, and Soniqs might just be able to cruise straight through these tier 4s with the remnants of the double damage. Nouns, they don't have a response.
He has the glaives. That double damage did insane work in that fight. Now you just let Luna do the work. No buybacks here. 140 for this gyro one. Just doesn't have it. Handles. That refresher shard. I mean, that's just game.
Just game. Just hit the throne. They've got the Venge coming back up, but the swaps won't save it. Look at Quinn dropping his items even on him. That is a game 1 victory for Soniqs and a huge boost of confidence for them after they got 2-0'd by Nouns in the upper bracket final. Winning the first game in this best of 5 has got to be a huge momentum swing in the mental game between these two teams.
I mean, you also have to feel like that Enigma first pick, yeah, it gets shut down on